That's that word that you heard on the curb. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Y'all hit that like and sub button as you come in for me, guys. We about to crank this thing up. We can't talk about Nolan Wells and that boy Lil Durk. We can't talk about Nolan Wells and that boy Durk, man. Real quick. Hold on, right quick, gang. Let's see something. What's up, Sticky? We got my dog Sticky in that bit, man. We got my dog Sticky in that bit. What you got going on, brother? What you got going on? You at work with it? Salute, little bro, man, for real. Try to see what we're gonna get into first. We'll get to a little dirt OTF jam first, and then we'll get into this Nolan Wells situation game. Hold on. Let me see. Say yes, sir. Work with it. Okay. My boy grinding. That boy feel like Lil Wayne. I'm grinding. I'm grinding. I'm grinding. I promise. Yeah, I remember that song, man. My boy said, I'm grinding. I'm grinding. I'm grinding. I promise. Hey, 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 hey. All right, but Wayne snapped on that bit. Yeah, the Wayne snapped. All right. Let me see. Let me see. I bet we don't watch that with that. I don't know if y'all know or not, but I watch the ads on my channel before we start. I don't know if y'all been noticing that. Yeah, if it gonna count for me too, why not? Hey, let's get into the OTL Jam situation. They say OTL Jam confessed to Lil Durk, flew him to LA to unalive Quando Rondo. I'm gonna repeat myself like Omar, like Dr. Omar. OTF Jam confessed Lil Durk flew him to LA to unalive Quando Rondo. Say they called that boy in the bathroom. Yeah, Lil Durk had called him in the bathroom. Hey Jam, um, I'm gonna need you to slow down with all these bodies you doing, man. I need you to slow down. I don't know how. I don't know how true that is, but we finna get into it, gang. Yeah, yeah, we finna get into it. We finna get into it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Also, the NAW, what is it? NAACP, AACP. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They joined Nolan Well case. Oh man, it's just been crazy overnight, ain't it? Hey, but let's get into this though. We still got. Then we even got. I ain't even gonna bring up Keefe D. Yeah, I ain't even gonna bring him up. We'll talk about him tomorrow. Yeah, he ain't even talking about him today. We're gonna get into this today though. Let's get to what OTF Jam had to say, gang, about that boy Durk. So he confessed that Lil Durk flew him out. I'm looking left to the right. Say he called him in the bathroom, like, and gave him I guess he gave him a spanking or something like that. He gave him a spanking in the bathroom or something like that. He said somebody Lil Durk called him in the bathroom and gave him a spanking. I meant, and say he need to calm down with all the bodies he been catching. But let's get into this though, gang. Let's go. According to the information, Trap Lord Ross reported live outside the courtroom, OTF Jam testimony may be the reason Lil Durk never see the light of day again outside them prison walls. Make sure y'all smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Music 101, the street reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Wait, this video is sponsored by Free Cash. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to check out Free Cash, where you can earn rewards by completing games, surveys, and other offers. All right, let's get past this.
I'm here at the federal courthouse after the Lil Durk hearing, and we just had some very, very interesting information about, possibly the most well-known alleged cooperator in this case, OTF Jam. Now, there was a crazy back and forth where they brought up a bunch of things about Jam. They said Back Again was going to be used. I'm not going to lie, I was happy to hear that because that's like one of my favorite songs. But obviously, in that song, he talks about, Jam got out of that jam, I gave him 50,000, he ain't got to ask again.
Jam get out that jam, I give him 50, ain't got to ask again. He was catching murders way back then, that's when the max was in.
Well, they're basically saying that Jam is going to testify and cooperate and say that 50,000 that Durk gave him that he rapped about in Back Again, which bear in mind was made before King Von even died, but Jam is going to testify and say that he believes that he was given that money basically as like, as a show of loyalty to basically kind of get, some kind of like future... It's basically not like a prepayment, but basically like on the hopes that in future he might be able to do things for him. He might be able to slide for him.
So OTF Jam is alleging that the reason Durk gave him $50,000 was basically an upfront payment for jobs in the future. And by jobs, I mean murders or whatever else OTF or Durk needed.
What?
And this was Durk own music may bite him in the ass. As y'all know, in Back Again, Durk rapped about giving Jam $50,000 when he got out that jam and he ain't got to ask again. Now, y'all know prosecutors can argue that the lyrics collaborate the fact that the payment actually happened. And y'all know since day one, the government main focus has been Durk lyrics. But the defense obvious response gonna be proving Durk gave Jam 50,000 is not the same as proving Durk paid Jam to commit murder. The defense could argue that Jam is giving his own interpretation to a payment that could have had an entirely different purpose. So the key question becomes, can prosecutors connect the $50,000 to an actual murder for hire?
Now, what's crazy is that...
Man, that's crazy. Get the lights up, gang.
Going to testify that actually when they were filming a music video, at some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy. At some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird.
Man,
and
wait,
they apparently confronted him, and they basically said...
They took him in the bathroom. What, they took him in the bathroom and gave him a spanking? Did they get that man a spanking? But listen what they said. Just listen.
Let's go. You're moving too hot, you're going to get us jammed up. You got to be more careful about committing murders, and you're going to get the feds on us. Now, apparently, that wasn't talking about...
Let me go back. I'm going to go back. Let me see if do that sign for real.
A music video... At some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy. At some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird. And they apparently confronted him, and they basically said, "You moving too hot, you're going to get us jammed up. You got to be more careful about committing murders, and you're going to get the feds on us." Now, apparently, that wasn't talking about the pad murder. Apparently there's other murders, and it sounds like he's actually going to admit to the feds that he was doing all kinds of murders that haven't even been prosecuted by the sounds of it, not even related to this murder, and that he was basically a top hitter in OTF and for the Black Disciples, and that it was really that serious, and Jam was doing all that. So Jam's name came up a couple times.
So if Jam testifies that he personally participated in murders or violent acts at Durk direction, prosecutors could argue that this established something much bigger than a simple friendship or business relationship. Their argument will essentially be Durk was just associated with people who committed violence. He allegedly had trusted people around him who were willing to carry out violent acts on his behalf. That could give the jury context for the government's theory that Durk was operating through other people. But this is also where the defense can attack Jam very aggressively. The defense asks, where's the independent evidence? Did Jam receive money, messages, phone calls? Did other witnesses hear the same instructions? Are the records showing Durk actually ordered those crimes? And most importantly, the defense can argue that Jam has a personal interest in shifting blame towards Durk. So if Jam is asking the jury to believe that Durk was directing violence through him, prosecutors need more than Jam's words if they want to make the testimony truly convincing. Now, this bathroom situation. If a jury believed that the conversation happened exactly as Jam described it, prosecutors could argue that this is extremely significant. Why? Because they're not simply saying Durk was around violent people. They're saying that Durk allegedly knew about murders, knew Jam was involved, and was worried that Jam activities will attract federal investigators. That could be used to support government's broader theory that Durk knew and participated in criminal organizations. But the
so you say lock him up?
For counter argument. Jam's interpretation of the
my boy Burns say lock him up. Durk don't know most of these guys. He just had the money and couldn't it where Jam and Durk didn't grow up together. Jam is gonna roll. Also, you think Jam gonna go on the roll, ain't it? But listen, you know he rolling if he don't say it this. If he said Lil Durk took him in the bathroom and gave him a spanking, took him in the bathroom and told him to calm down on all the damn unaliving. I mean, do we know, is that a fact though? The lawyer might eat that up in court. Do they got this on tape that Lil Durk said this? Do they got actual evidence that Lil Durk said this in the bathroom? I know it ain't no cameras in the bathroom. It ain't no cameras in no damn bathroom. So they going off of his word that Lil Durk said this? I'm asking, gang. You know, I ain't no lawyer or nothing. I'm just asking. Will that hold in court his word? The lawyer might eat that up. He might eat that for dinner. I'm telling you now. Let's go.
The conversation isn't necessarily proof of Durk ordering murders. Durk allegedly telling somebody to stop committing murders could actually be argued by defense as evidence that Durk was trying to distance himself from violence. And unless there's a recording, text messages, or other witnesses confirming this conversation, the jury ultimately has to decide whether Jam is telling the truth or not. So the testimony could be damaging, but credibility becomes everything.
So another area where Jam was brought up, they basically talked about this federal freestyle, and they said that, you know, it's funny because the prosecutors literally said, look, Jam wasn't known as a good rapper. He was known as a hitter, a killer for OTF and for the Black Disciples. He was known as a Black Disciple hitter, and that's why he was put on this federal, ironically named federal freestyle, and that was basically as like, you know, as a favor for Jam.
If Durk, listen, if Durk walked from this, y'all think about the money that Durk really finna make if he walked from this. If Durk walked from this, y'all think about the money he finna make. Look how the NBA young boy, when he came home and did all them damn shows, made all that money. This joke living in, where he at, South Korea or something? Think about it now. If Durk walked from this, bro, it's gonna be a miracle. I'm gonna be honest, guy.
They were saying that was almost like to solidify his place
in the ranks of OTF
and the dirt that he was going to or had already committed for the crew. And they basically said that apparently Jam is going to testify that he was in the federal freestyle and that he basically is going to say that, look, he felt like if he didn't do the murder, if he didn't participate in this hit, that he felt like he wouldn't be included in these there's all types of sirens going on right now. It's crazy. That basically that they feel like Jam said that he didn't feel like he would have been included in all the OTF, you know, things that were going on, these opportunities, if he hadn't participated in that murder.
Yeah, this is crazy work.
It was at this moment that he knew. He stopped.
I be the one who they get for the real problems. I'm the reason some niggas deceased.
Lock them up.
Oh, man.
Lock them up.
Hold on. When I say OTF Jam testimony might be the main reason Lil Durk go away forever, y'all remember in the beginning, the prosecutors was saying that Lil Durk used custom jewelry, music video appearances, and record deals as a direct compensation for violent acts. He was giving people record deals, buying them jewelry, letting them be a part of his videos to big up their image if they carried out violent activities for him. And this the same thing that OTF Jam is basically saying? Let's keep going.
And the last thing I'm going to say is that they said outright that apparently Jam was recruited for the Lil Pad murder by Boonie Mo, and they basically said that Boonie Mo had said to Jam specifically that Durk, but referring to him as Blood, he wants to fly you out for this murder. And apparently that's all going to be testified to. That's not looking great, to be honest with you guys.
If Jam actually testifies that under oath, prosecutors can argue that this directly connects Durk to the Los Angeles operation at the center of this case. The alleged chain would be Boonie Mo tells Jam that Durk's want him flown to Los Angeles. Jam understands the purpose is to kill Quando Rondo or LaPal, and the government then points out the actual shooting that happened in Los Angeles. That's potentially much powerful than simply proving Durk gave Jam $50,000. But there's a major defense here. Jam didn't allegedly hear the instructions directly from Durk. According to this account, Jam heard it from Boonie Mo. That means the defense can challenge the reliability and admissibility of that statement, depending on exactly how the prosecution is trying to introduce it and what evidence collaborated. The defense could also ask, did Durk actually say this? Was there a text, a phone call, flight records, surveillance, and other witnesses? Because ultimately, the government have to connect Durk to the Los Angeles murder for hire conspiracy, not simply prove that he knew violent people or gave Jam money. And that's the line the jury will have to focus on. But y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think Jam testimony could put the nail in the coffin for Lil Durk? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Will Lil Durk walk, gang? Y'all let me know.
Do it for me. Promo alert, promo alert, promo alert.
Y'all let me know if Lil Durk walk, gang. No, we ain't. We ain't playing no King David today. No. I got me a little mouse and little shit now. No, we stopping shit quick now. We ain't playing with them. We ain't playing with them on this live right here. Let's get into this right here, gang. Matter of fact, let's hear old boy talk about Durk right quick. He seemed like he had a little info on little something with Lil Durk, or what the case may be. I know y'all probably be watching it from time to time. Hold on right quick, gang. I know y'all watch. Before we get into the Nolan Well news, let's watch this right here. Before we get into the Nolan Well news, gang, let's watch this right here. Let's watch this right here, man. Let's watch this right here, gang.
OTF Jam brought up, man. This is getting.
Let's watch this right here, gang. Shout out to that nigga.
We came a long way, man. Y'all know we shadow band.
Shout out that nigga to King AK. He seemed like he be locked in with that damn Chicago shit. Let him speak on this shit right quick. Salute to everybody in that bit. Let go, gang. And then we finna hop into Nolan Well.
Regular video since April.
Let's go, gang.
Let's get right into it, man. Hit that like button. So, if y'all don't know, I've been on a little Lil Durk's Cook campaign because I've been trying to tell y'all, I'm not sure if the murder for hire is really like the main focus that the feds are trying to get him on. I believe the murder for hire is the bonus now. The stalking charges, I've been saying for weeks, are what they're going to get him on because there's too much evidence that shows stalking. We know that they allowed the phone. So the cell phone that they allowed with the messages of him sending messages back for trying to get Lil Tim's location and all that, like, it's just crazy. Like, he shot his own gun at the home invasion. They kept the phone for years. That's what's going to really, to me, sink Durk on them goddamn stalking charges. It ain't looking good with them stalking charges. We know that, you know, Quando Rondo's affiliates tried to reach out to Durk, and Durk said, you know, make peace with this switch. Like, he didn't want peace. This was after the little lab shooting.
Oh,
Durk
yeah.
basically just crashed out behind D-Thang and Vaughn, bro.
How many people know about that Quando Rondo side? Somebody on Quando Rondo side tried to make peace with Lil Durk. And he said, make peace with this switch. Yeah. That's what he told them niggas on that side over there. That's crazy work. Salute to everybody in the building. Get the likes up for me, gang. Let's go. Let's see what AK talking about.
They're going to get a lot more messages out of his phone. And I'm guaranteeing you that, you know, since the shooting happened, the home invasion, it's just looking bad with that phone. So we also know that, you know, there was motions denied. They're not throwing out anything else. But today, something else happened. And we're going to get Mr. on here to tell y'all about what happened.
I'm here outside the courthouse. I just saw Lil Durk's last hearing, and there was a lot of really big information that just came out. Now, I'm going to do a bunch of breakdowns on all the information, but I'm going to hit you with the craziest piece of information that came up first. I could not believe it. They brought up WAC 100 and 6ix9ine in Durk's hearing. Now, this is insane. So they were basically arguing over a certain exhibit, and like whether or not it should be allowed to be used, and they pretty much said that there was a podcast clip of the 6ix9ine and WAC 100 interview that they basically wanted to use. The defense for Durk was fighting for it not to be included, and this is what's crazy. Now look, before I get attacked, before I get in any trouble, like, I'm not saying WAC 100's a snitch or that he's cooperating or that he's part of this case. Same goes for 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine's not cooperating against Durk. He's not part of the case, but the interview between WAC 100 and 6ix9ine was brought up. The feds are planning to use it as evidence. Evidence of what, you might ask? They're saying that it is evidence that this podcast where 6ix9ine was talking his shit against Durk, talking about, yeah, slide for Von. You said that dudes were going to slide. If I die, we're boosting the murder rate. Dudes are going to slide every day. All of that stuff. They're basically saying that this was evidence that this podcast blew up. It was one of the biggest aspects of the Slide for Von campaign. The feds literally just said it themselves that 6ix9ine and Wack 100 on that podcast, that was like the all-star team of the Slide for Von campaign. They're saying that people, they were basically saying that, you know, they said that a confidential witness had claimed that Durk had seen the clip. Durk's defense were arguing, no, they hadn't said that he'd specifically been sent the clip, but he acknowledged that, you know, the clip was going around. The clip was a very popular, you know, element.
I don't know why Lil Durk lawyers keep acknowledging shit. Like, that's just crazy to me. But a lot of people go say the feds is reaching. Man, what the feds is doing, they're trying to box off any angle to get this nigga to not be found not guilty. So how a lot of people were saying that the fans and people on the outside influenced Durk to do this, the feds believe it too. Remember, a lot of these lyrics are going to be used with the podcast of 6ix9ine, to be used with the confidential informant. Also, don't forget, Academics interview is still in here. You know they can't say Slide for Von no more, right? It's just, even though I'm not going to say that part is an end-all, be-all sinker, it ain't good neither, bruh. It's just not good, man. What else done happened, man?
All right, so I'm here at the federal courthouse in LA. I just got out of the last Lil Durk hearing before he goes to trial, and they brought up something that is pretty harrowing. So this is the first time that we've heard that...
Somebody in the chat said, what's happening with Keefe D getting cooked? That nigga in the pot. Let that nigga be over there in the neck. He the neck bones. He boiling. He boiling in the pot. Let him get over there and get cooked. We done covered Keefe D. I ain't finna keep covering Keefe D. But Keefe D stupid. He should have never, ever, 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 ever said nothing about nothing. So that's Keefe D. Let's go. And he wrote a fucking book. Let's go.
The prosecutors actually want to use... It's so sad to say it because I went through this with the David situation, but they want to use autopsy images from the coroner of Lil Pab after he was killed. Now, obviously, these are really going to be really gruesome images. Now, we haven't seen these images. They were basically arguing about whether or not they should be included. Now, naturally, Durk's defense team, they're trying to fight against this being used. They really don't want these grisly autopsy photos to be included in court.
Another bad thing, man, if they show Lil Tim's autopsy, not Lil Tim, if they show Lil Pab's autopsy to the jurors alongside one of the shooters admitting that he caused that and saying he did it from the orders of Lil Durk, that ain't good neither, man. And I know it's people saying, well, how can we prove payments? How can we prove payments? Listen, man, that might be the only thing that can save Durk, is that we still haven't had any proof that he has had payment. But they are saying that there's proof of hotels being paid for, niggas attending shows, and then voluntarily saying, yes, I got paid for this. Or can say, no, I didn't get paid for this, and I was supposed to get paid. That witness testimony of the actual shooter mixed in with showing that autopsy, not good neither.
House after the Lil Durk hearing, and we just had some very, very interesting information about, possibly the most well-known alleged cooperator in this case, OTF Jam. Now, there was a crazy back and forth where they brought up a bunch of things about Jam. They said that the song Back Again was going to be used, and I'm not going to lie, I was happy to hear that because that's like one of my favorite songs. But obviously, in that song, he talks about, Jam got out of that jam, I gave him 50,000, he ain't got to ask again. Well, they're basically saying that Jam is going to testify and cooperate and say that 50,000 that Durk gave him, that he rapped about in Back Again, which, bear in mind, was made before King Von even died. But Jam is going to testify and say that he believes that he was given that money basically as like a, as a show of loyalty to basically kind of get, some kind of like future It's basically not like a prepayment, but basically like on the hopes that in future he might be able to do things for him. He might be able to slide for him. Now, what's crazy is that he's allegedly gonna testify that actually when they were filming a music video, at some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy. At some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird.
How many people
apparently confronted?
Put it in the chat right now. Y'all put it in the chat for me real quick. And do y'all think that Durk took another man in the bathroom and spanked him? I mean, and said these things. How many think Lil Durk did that, gang? I'm just gonna be on the gang. How many people think that? Let's go.
Him, and they basically said, you moving too hot, you're going to get us jammed up, you got to be more careful about committing murders, and you're going to get the feds on us. Now, apparently that wasn't talking about the Pab murder. Apparently there's other murders, and it sounds like he's actually going to admit to the feds that he was doing all kinds of murders that haven't even been prosecuted by the sounds of it, not even related to this murder, and that he was basically a top hitter in OTF and for the Black Disciples, and that it was really that serious. And
now we got the infamous OTF Jam just telling on every goddamn thing. I mean, Jam ass talk about they confronted him with murders, all type of shit, that he got future payments to be a hitter, FBG cash. I mean, just ridiculous, man. But there's something crazy here. If Jam wasn't the shooter on the Lil Pipe murder, who was? One of these shooters is testifying. And according to Trap Lord Ross, and according to how them courts was sounded, he may not be the one that was on that hit. So if he wasn't, who was? But I do know Jam was somewhere in the area of somewhere, and used his shit. That's how he got picked up in the first goddamn place. And he also got questioned about a murder too. OTF Jam brought up, man, this is getting bad. Let's tell you.
Court at the Lil Durk hearing, the last hearing before trial, and I'm not going to lie, Drew Findling might have just pulled the craziest move I've ever seen a lawyer pull. He was cooking. It wasn't the best news for Durk today, but with his billion-dollar lawyer Drew, I don't know, he might just pull something out the bag. This was insane. So basically, there were a bunch of big arguments back and forth about whether, evidence of Durk's gang membership should be used. And the whole argument that was being made was that, look, Quando Rondo, Lil Tim, they were beefing with King Von over apparent girlfriend drama and music clearances. It was nothing to do with gangs. They said this BDGD gang war, Tay-Town, OTF, the Black Disciples, O-Block. He's saying that shouldn't be nothing to do with this. This is nothing to do with the gang. That's the other indictment. We've got this severed. You shouldn't be talking about the gang membership. He was making a very impassioned speech about all of this stuff. And I'll be real with you, Durk looked absolutely locked in. Everyone was mesmerized by Drew. He is $1 billion lawyer for a reason. He was absolutely crushing it up there. I'm not going to lie. He was really turning the tide. But what was crazy...
Y'all get the lights up. Hit that sub button if you're new to the channel, okay?
Definitely happened. I'm not going to say who's doing what. I'm just going to tell you the sequence of events, and I'm going to tell you some of the rumors and whispers that were going around the courtroom. Because after Drew made that absolutely insane speech, okay, it was announced that Durk plans to call witnesses. And after everybody said, 35 witnesses, that's insane, he's cooked. 35 witnesses is good, because if they could prove the murder, they wouldn't need 35 witnesses. Well, Durk's team, they turned around and said, in addition to the 4 expert witnesses we've already put forward, we got 25 witnesses we want to bring forward. Now, that was crazy in itself. But then what happened next absolutely floored everyone in the courtroom. Because the judge said, look, I've looked through your list of proposed witnesses, and I know that you guys don't want the prosecution to see this list. You guys are fighting to have this list secret right up until the moment it happens, and I might allow it. But he said there was one name on this list that really jumped out at me. This is so serious, we're going to have a private conversation now, and I shit you not. The judge literally played white noise so that you couldn't hear anything in the courtroom.
What's up, Macon? Salute, Macon.
Lawyers went over and spoke to the judge privately,
Salute
and everybody was whispering
in
in the courtroom, who do you think this secret sensational witness is? People were saying, is it Quando? People were saying, could it be Lil Tim? Could it be somebody else? Could it be Durk's? Could it be Durk's dad? I had a theory. It was just my opinion. It was just my theory. I just remember
what he said.
That Drew Findling was King Von's lawyer back in the day.
Wait.
So
what he said? Let me go back a little bit.
People said, 5 witnesses we want to bring forward. Now, that was crazy in itself. But then what happened next absolutely floored everyone in the courtroom. Because the judge said, look, I've looked through your list of proposed witnesses, and I know that you guys don't want the prosecution to see this list. You guys are fighting to have this list secret right up until the moment it happens.
Appreciate that gift, House.
I might allow it. But he said there was one name on this list that really jumped out at me. This is so serious, we're going to have a private conversation now, and I shit you not. The judge literally played white noise so that you couldn't hear anything in the courtroom. All of Durk's lawyers went over and spoke to the judge privately, and everybody was whispering in the courtroom, who do you think this secret sensational witness is? People were saying, is it Quando? People were saying, could it be Lil Tim? Could it be somebody else? Could it be Durk's? Could it be Durk's dad? I had it was just my opinion, it was just my theory. I just remembered the fact that Drew Findling was King Von's lawyer back in the day, right? And so there were a few whispers amongst people saying, what if it's Drew? That's very unusual. The judge seemed like it was a very unusual move. And basically, that's what I was thinking. And then when they kind of turned the white noise off and everybody came back, it was interesting because the prosecution basically stood up and was like, look, we got a theory as to who it might be. And then the judge pretty much just said, like, yeah, I think it's who you think it is. And look, I don't know exactly what was said, but Drew Findling had a giant grin on his face.
We gonna hit it off with this. Boy, if Lil Durk somehow pulls off Quando Rondo or somebody, Lil Tim or somebody, to testify on his behalf, he gonna beat this. If he can pull that off, it's crazy. Now, he was saying Drew Findling. I don't know about Drew. I don't know how you could be a witness and the lawyer. But there's a mystery witness. Durk got 25 witnesses on his behalf, basically about to say he ain't did nothing. I don't know if his witnesses are going to be pointing blames at somebody else, but there's one person that's a mystery, and I think we got to dig deep on our live stream tonight, man. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, and y'all make sure y'all share
appreciate that coin,
We're
gang.
going live 11 o'clock.
Appreciate that coin, gang.
Don't miss it. We ain't
appreciate that coin.
So make sure y'all.
Appreciate that coin, gang. Will the Dirt walk? Y'all see it's in my title. I don't know. Time will tell, gang. Time will tell. It's looking iffy. Might and might not. I don't know. It's looking iffy, gang. Hold up. Wait. It's looking iffy for Dirt. Shout out to Dirt, man. I mean, I know you want to just. I'm gonna say this. Hold up. Let me sit up. Cause I was sitting back, relaxed, chilling. I'm gonna say this though. Lil Durk, I understand. You felt like Von was your homeboy. Not even just Von, but I'm just speaking on the Von situation. You felt like Von was your homeboy, your close, not even just a homeboy, that was your brother Ace. Quando Rondo them do all that damn trolling after, putting Von name in songs and putting subliminal messages in songs about y'all, and you just everybody, the fans, you looking down at the comments. Every time you go live, everybody telling you to slide for Von. Every time you go live, everywhere you look, everybody's saying slide for Von. Then either they saying slide for Von, R.I.P. Von, F. Quando Rondo. It just so much was just going on in your head, and you felt like Biggie. When Biggie found out that Faith Evans was effing around with Pac allegedly, he saw a magazine, and he just, when it was in there, he just went to the door and went crazy. And they asked him, "What happened, Big?" And he said, "I don't know. I just fucking snapped." So Lil Durk, you just fucking snapped. That's what it was, Durk. But let's get into this. Appreciate the gold coin. Let's get into the Nolan Well, Durk. We're gonna keep watching, gang. Will you walk? We don't know. We're gonna keep watching, though, gang. We're gonna keep watching. We're gonna keep watching, gang. Shout out to Durk. Shout out to Durk. Let's get into the Nolan Well news. Let's get into y'all boy real quick. Everybody that they love to hate. Everybody that they love to hate. They be hating on them. They be hating on them real bad. And it's crazy work. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Nolan Well parents have a message for Officer Tatum. Yeah, they got a message for him. Yeah, they got a message for him real quick. Let's get into him right quick. Everybody love to hate. Let's go.
I I protect them, Elliot. So although they were in the room, and I told you, and I was like, I'm literally here with them right now.
Let's get into some of this Nolan Well news. We got some more videos to get into. Let's go. Let's turn up.
That way. They appreciate knowing that I can say the things that they probably cannot. They appreciate, everybody wants somebody to go beat up the bully.
Elliot told me in the DM, I can show it to you if you guys want to, that I said, hey man, you should interview me since you got my name in your mouth all day. And we interviewed. Why is Nolan's mom and them watching his interview with me? We're not even talking about Nolan not one bit. Y'all check this out. If you need custom shirts, hats,
hey, appreciate it. All right. See,
you can put your product.
See, that's what I be talking about. Hey, appreciate that gift, Meat. Hey, stick it for real, bro. For real, bro. Just focusing up. Let's go though.
.com and check us out today.
All right,
a lady
fam,
named
let's go.
Teslin Figaro, which Figaro, I didn't know that was a black woman. But anyway, the lady named Teslin, so I know her name. And she's on an interview with a guy named Elliot, who's not a doctor. And they're talking about me. Now, here's some of the things that they said. I haven't watched it. My team watched it. They presented it to me. So I know it's got to be something that I may want to hear. All right. First of all, Elliot, I went on his show in good faith because it appears that although things he said about me disagree with wholeheartedly, he wasn't extremely disrespectful and unprofessional. So I said I can go on and maybe have a productive conversation. This young lady, Teslin, is cussing and acting a fool and doing shenanigans type of stuff. And I don't want to get into an argument with a woman that's not acting in good faith and is ghetto. It's a waste of my time. I'm a boss out here. I'm not some little YouTuber that's just getting started out. I do this for a living.
Chill out, stop,
six. Respect. And I also have credentials.
Get the lights up.
I've done research.
Okay.
I've been around the world. You name it. I don't want to waste my time with people who want to argue with me in poor faith.
Okay.
I honestly think Elliot wants to argue with me to get his views up, which is fine because I'm not ducking from anybody. I go anybody's show anytime to talk about this Nolan Wells case. The funny thing is that Elliot didn't want to talk to me about Nolan Wells. Mm-hmm. He wanted to talk to me about me and try to give me a fake diagnosis of who I am. Okay. This young lady,
that boy said he ain't ducking no smoke. He'll go on any platform and let y'all know about this Nolan Wells case. Get the lights up. Shout out to Stop 6. Let's go. He's in the mix.
Want to talk about Nolan Wells?
Stop 6 is in the mix. Y'all, that's what I told you.
Let's go. In good faith, if she wanted to have a good faith conversation, I don't care. There's nothing. Listen, I want people to understand. There's no vested interest in this for me. I went out there. They wanted to be interviewed by me. I validated, verified everything that they said. I did an interview for them to tell the world what they told me. That's it. I'm not going to. There's no jail time for me in this. I wasn't on Horn Island. After this case is resolved, I'm gonna go back to living my life with my family, and the next story is gonna come up. There's no vested interest for me to have anything to say, but to tell you what they told me. It's really that simple. And I don't like the fact that innocent people are getting blamed in this situation unnecessarily. That's my position. But let's hear what they had to say. This is the first time I've heard this, Roland.
You were watching my interview with
what's up, Sci-Fi?
Former Officer Tatum last week.
Let's go. Turn me up, y'all. Donate to the platform. Super chat, gifts, or welcome.
Which I want to ask about in a minute. My first question I want to ask you is...
We didn't even talk about Nolan.
What was your response to being referred to as super ghetto?
Oh, I loved it. And you probably have to do a whole session on me to you probably will tell me better what my response is. And again, thank you for being here.
Session on me.
Charlemagne named me the Hood Whisperer, Black Effect. I see you have your Black Effect gear on. As you know, I have a podcast.
I appreciate that deal, Sci-Fi.
She gets tied up.
Y'all turn me up, gang.
What is
we at 22 gift games.
What is different from when I said you super ghetto and they call you the Hood Whisperer? How is what me saying any different than what the names people are giving you? Now watch how she act, because she probably her ghetto side probably.
We at 22 gifts, 0 super chats.
I do
turn me up.
Family Therapy. Everybody go check it out on Black Effect Podcast Network. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, iHeartRadio. Let's go.
What's up, Pringo?
So Charlemagne named
What's up,
me the Hood Whisperer because, and I've always had these different mantras, but he did that because of my ability to be able to speak to various different walks of life. and not from a standpoint of, I know them, or I learned about them, or I've interviewed enough of them. And when I say them, I'm talking about the least of these, the disenfranchised, those who have been not selected, those who have been, ejected, if you will. Those are the ones that live in the ghettos. Now, it's not a term that we typically use today, but if you look at the historical word of ghetto, and why Too Short wrote the ghetto, and why Willie D and Scarface, our good friends, are the ghetto boys, and all of those things when we talk about the ghetto and what happens in those environments.
So you're ghetto. Okay, where are you going with this? All right, next clip.
And so he named me that as somebody that gets it. So when he says super ghetto, and again, I hear this all the time. Oh, she's ghetto. Oh, yeah, she's an angry black woman. All of the tropes. I lean into those things. I remove the power away from it immediately because I lean into it. So if you say, oh, she's super ghetto, I looked at it as a superhero. Not only do I stand for the least of these in the ghetto, I do it in a super way. So when you look at the definition of super, what it means to be super, and what the ghetto is, I know he wanted to use it in a negative way, but if we look at what the ghetto is, I am proud to be able to say that I stand for the least of these. So although I appreciated you defending me, that was great. That you come from that lens to be able to say, no, she's not ghetto. Dealing with a woman that...
No. I said don't call her that. Okay. Like, I'm not saying you're not ghetto, because I'm like, I'm proud to be where I'm from. And
there's a lot of women that need to see a black man basically check another one.
He just said, I just said don't call her that. I'm not saying you're not ghetto. So he's saying she's ghetto. She says she's ghetto. I don't want to argue with somebody that want to be ghetto. I want to argue with somebody that want to have a good faith conversation, because I'm a grown adult. I'm a husband with children and a professional business owner. I don't want to waste my time with people cussing and acting a fool. All right, let her finish.
I just went ahead and ordered the cape, though, as you know. I ordered the cape on Amazon.
But if y'all don't believe that's true, go follow this woman. If you don't already, follow her on IG. She literally ordered a cape and has now created the character super ghetto Teslin Fagara. Like this.
These people literally are grifting off of the conversations about me. I called her super ghetto on another show. She gets a cape now and want to have a personality. They literally are leveraging their conversation and hatred towards me to build a brand for themselves. Out of all your career, you just now got a cape because I said something. And this dude, his only popular videos is talking about me. Now, I don't care because I'm way beyond these people, right? These people are right down here. We're getting 200 million views a month on Instagram. Like, I'm reaching people all over the world. I've been doing this for like 8 years, billions of views. These people are just starting their career off on social media. So I'm not in any way concerned about nothing they're doing. I do want to have conversations with people across the aisle in good faith. Teslin was on an interview with me on a Fox show. I had no problem with that. It was on, not Fox, it was Newsmax. And what was she on there? Being ghetto. And I'm like, yeah, this girl is so unprofessional and weird. Like, can you have a reasonable conversation? We don't need to get on there and act like we in the hood. It's so immature to me. But anyway, it's the last clip. Roll it.
Okay, actually, no, before we even do that, and I haven't asked you this privately, how did the parents experience watching my interview with
Time out. Why is his parents watching the interview when we didn't talk about Nolan not one time? Elliot told me in the DM, I can show it to you if you guys want to, that I said, hey man, you should interview me since you got my name in your mouth all day. All right, what do you want to talk about? I said, I want to know what you said about me. The things that you said about me that were not true, and you can question me and challenge me on all of those things. He sends me a message back, say, that's not what I want to talk about. I put a question mark. I'm like, what do you want to talk about then? I want to address the things you said about me on your show. He just want to interview me, and I said, all right, I'll do it. Let's do it, our interview. And we interviewed. Why is Nolan's mom and them watching his interview with me? We're not even talking about Nolan, not one bit. All right, roll it.
Brandon Tatum.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was there with them. We were in Atlanta. We were recording Jamal Bryant's podcast that should be dropping this week.
Hold on. Jamal Bryant, let me tell you how ghetto and weird and low energy, low vibration people are. Jamal Bryant cheated on his wife, got outside babies, all kind of stuff. He is a disgraced pastor. Took over a church of a pastor who was considered a pervert and abused people. He ended up settling in a lawsuit when these boys are saying he was grooming boys, and they got pictures that they put online of him taking pictures in his bathroom, sending it to boys at his church. I forget his name. He got ousted out of the church. He ended up dying, actually. And then Jamal Bryant, cheating on his wife and ruined his church at Empowerment Temple, took over that other church. But they want to gloat. Why would Nolan's them mama want to go on Jamal Bryant's them podcast? The lowest of the low criticizing me. Okay, let it finish.
And I protect them, Elliot. So although they were in the room, and I told you, and I was like, I'm literally here with them right now.
Yeah.
Which would absolutely, if he had accepted the offer to bring me on, how powerful would that have been for him to actually have to be confronted with the actual information, which I know we'll get to.
Time out, bro. These people such liars. Teslin said something to me on her show, somewhere, and I wrote her a DM. I wrote her a message on her comment section. I said, well, come on my show. I'll invite you on my show anytime. No, you got to come on my Instagram. Why am I going to go on Instagram and you got 25 followers? Come on my YouTube channel with 3 million people and we can have a genuine conversation. You claim you have evidence about Nolan. I know what I know. Let's have a conversation. No. You need to come on my Instagram channel and do Instagram Live so you don't edit. I said, we're not going to edit. We can do it live. No, don't say I turned down an offer. I offered you to come on my show, which is millions of people on it, which will get way more views and way more publicity. But you want to go on your show, which ain't a show. Nobody watching it. It's going to be 35 people watching me and you talk on your Instagram channel. What are we talking about? At least Elliot got a YouTube show, and I went on his YouTube show. Let it play.
That later. But I protect them in ways, meaning I did not expose her to the things that were said. But then also, you guys weren't talking about the details.
Which was intentional.
That's it, which was absolutely intentional. So I need people to know this, and I'm not saying, you and I talked about this offline. Christine and Elmer, I am honored to have their permission to defend them in this way. And when people say, man, I don't know how you do it. And I don't, they ask you the same thing. I don't know why you offer a platform. I don't know why you talk to him in that way. They appreciate knowing that I can say the things that they probably cannot. They appreciate, everybody wants somebody to go beat up the bully. Everybody. So when you ask how they feel with the interview that you did, I'm looking at a woman that's saying, Teslin, thank you. Thank you for defending me in ways that, although there are hundreds and thousands of people, thousands if you will, who are making commentary about this case, they don't know her. She hasn't cried on their shoulder. She hasn't said, Teslin, this is what I would love to say, but I know that if I say this or that, they're going to attack me. So she is relieved,
Time
if
out.
you will.
Let me put this out there for the world to see.
Shout out Detroit in the
I will
building.
talk to Nolan's parents privately. If they want to confront me on a phone call, tell me what they want to say to me, give me information that I'm wrong about, I'll do it publicly or privately, whatever they want to do. If I'm wrong about something, correct me. I'll come on my show and correct it if I'm wrong. I will get on a phone call with these people tonight. And nobody got to know we did it. I can keep it private. Y'all want to talk to me. If you think I'm doing so much harm to your family, I'll talk to you. I'll bring you on my show and let you tell me what side you have if it's contrary to what I'm presenting, which is the only side I have because y'all won't even talk. I only have one interview. Well, one side of the interview. I'm only presenting what evidence I have in all the interviews that y'all have done publicly, not on my show. These people act like somebody got something to hide, man. Look, I don't know Nolan. And I don't know none of these people. I just know that y'all pushing racism is not fair. And then they proved to me that they weren't even there when Nolan died. Why don't y'all come out and apologize to them for painting them with a broad brush as if they are murdering somebody? Why didn't y'all go talk to them instead of me talking to them? And I reached out to y'all first, and y'all did not to talk to the brother. But I'll say it like this: I want the world to know. I might go on a podcast with that ghetto girl, because these people are so arrogant and they take this stuff so personal and they're biased that if I talk to you on an interview, I'm not going to tell you nothing that I didn't already say. There's nothing hiding. I'm not hiding anything. I didn't spend my own money to go and do investigations to get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan. Y'all not interested in that. Y'all want to get to the bottom of your hypothesis, which was that Nolan was killed by white people. Y'all don't want to get to the bottom of the truth, or you would have talked to them already. You would have contacted their lawyers. You'd have had a private conversation with them. They reached out to have a conversation, and y'all refused to talk to them. I wouldn't have had to say nothing. I wouldn't have had to interview nobody. Why don't y'all talk to him and get this squared away before you ever went to the media and claimed that Nolan was in a fight on the island, that things were deleted off his phone, that he only went out there with 3, 4 white boys. It was an abandoned island. When wrong is wrong, man. Wrong is wrong. All right. I think that's it. Was there the end to that? There was nothing else on that clip? All right. So just so anybody want to clip this, I know y'all watching my show, Teslin or whatever, come on my YouTube channel. We'll do it live. There's no edits. If you're scared of somebody editing something, I would ask you to just make sure you keep your language clean, meaning that you can use other words than cuss words to communicate your point. If you want to set up a call for me and Nolan's family, I'll talk to them in private if they want to express things to me. And if I'm wrong about something, I want them to tell me I'm wrong so I can correct it if I'm wrong. And I will publicly correct something that I've been wrong about if they tell me that I'm wrong and show me that I'm wrong. Other than that, I have nothing to go off of but the truth that I know. So quit trying to act like I'm ducking somebody. I don't even care. Nolan wasn't my kid. And I feel bad for Nolan because he seemed like he was a great kid. And his legacy should be about how great he is and not about these white boys. I want to know what happened to Nolan. I wish that I knew Nolan before any of this happened. I would have loved to have been an influence in Nolan's life. I would have loved to see him one day and help him become a better man, because he clearly wasn't a racist, biased person like some of these other people are. He had white friends that he loved just like his black friends.
W Gaming, man.
And if Nolan was alive today, or Nolan was in heaven looking down, I would guarantee you with my entire career that Nolan would have said, don't blame them if you don't have no evidence. Don't put my friends out there like that. Let's get to the bottom of what happened to me. But if my friends didn't do it, how about you talk to them and make sure before you put my friends out there, and now they're getting death threats. 5 people have been arrested for threatening their lives. 4 people, I think. The 5th one did a bomb threat at the courthouse or something. And I heard 3 other phone calls where people should get arrested if the cops knew what their identity was.
Facts game.
Nolan wouldn't want his friends to be treated like this. And then once you find out his friends weren't even there when he died, he definitely wouldn't want them to be blamed for something they didn't do.
How many of y'all agree with Stop 6?
Let the main thing be the main thing.
Is y'all agreeing with Stop 6 right now? Is he cooking? Is that boy Stop 6 cooking? Y'all let me know if Stop 6 cooking, boy. That boy sound like he in the kitchen cooking on y'all now. In the kitchen trying to make it rock solid. Yeah. Hey, let's get to Mississippi DA finally breaks silence on Nolan Wells cover-up claims. HP News. Breaking news. Then we finna get into the NAACP joining the Nolan Wells case. Let's go, gang. Let's get into this. Let's get into this right quick. Let's get into this right quick. Let's get into this right quick. Let's get into this right quick.
Mississippi DA Angel Myers McIlrath has now finally responded to cover-up accusations and corruption claims involving the investigation of Nolan Wells' mysterious death. Since the beginning of this case, online users have been vocal about their suspicions and their lack of trust with state officials assigned to figuring out what happened to Nolan Wells. As we all know, Wells' death is publicly determined as unsolved after he would first disappear on July 4th, and later his body would be found on Horn Island, Mississippi, where he was last seen with friends. The story has created speculation and outrage for many who question what really happened to the black 18-year-old that day.
I had been had him,
if the investigation surrounding his death is properly and thoroughly being handled. As far as Angel McIlrath, who is over the case, she is now releasing a statement to respond to anyone who takes issue with how her office is moving forward and their lack of transparency as the investigation currently awaits to be presented to a grand jury now that several things in the investigation have been completed, like Wells' state autopsy. As district attorney, I do not have the same freedom to share information publicly that private individuals may have. For example, I do not have the freedom to release letters I've sent in this investigation, witness cooperation, or the testing of evidence. I do not have the freedom to identify what information is verified and what information is false. I do not have the freedom to publicly adopt a narrative and choose one fact over another. Nor do I control the information released by private individuals who are not part of the investigation team. I cannot control whether private individuals release letters they have sent to me, just as I cannot prevent them from releasing letters I have sent to them. I cannot control which facts or bits of information are shared or whether that information is being shared in context, twisted, or misconstrued. Public commentary does not make the speaker transparent. Just like exercising restraint consistent with the laws does not make the process corrupt. The fact that something is said does not necessarily mean it's actually true. Prosecutors are held to the highest ethical standard under the law, as we should be. The people we serve deserve no less. I understand that a void is perceived when some are speaking publicly about a matter while others do not. I would be stepping outside the bounds of the law if I were to fill that void and share information publicly. With all of the public pressure being placed on my office, filling that void would only serve to get pressure off of me. Nolan deserves better. There is no pressure that can be placed on me and no force that is greater than the weight of the oath I took and my responsibility to the people I serve. My obligation and commitment is to present the grand jury with all the evidence collected in this case in order for them to reach a decision based on a thorough investigation, complete evidence presentation, the actual truth, and an understanding of the law. I am obligated to do so in keeping with the law and the rules of the court. On July 23, 2026, I released a recorded statement explaining the process and what the people of Jackson County should expect in this matter. There is nothing more to be shared at this time. I caution the public about assigning trustworthiness to things they read and see online. I also ask, rather than those individuals demanding that I step outside the bounds of the law and make public statements, we all step back and allow the process to work and allow us to do the job we were elected to do. I stand firmly on the rule of law.
Hold on, wait. I appreciate that gift, Sci-Fi.
Released that word
What's up for life?
to her office from Wells' family representatives, in which the most recent email would address a demand she would allegedly make for Wells' family to turn in his cell phone for examination within a 48-hour window.
Appreciate that, fella.
Along with claims that she and her office were not following the path of a joint examination of Wells' phone. As agreed upon, when she would meet Wells' family and their attorney, Benjamin Crump.
Y'all donate to the platform, gang, if you can. Hit the super chat, hit the gifts.
On August 12th at 12:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, set a deadline for the Wansleys to deliver the phone to your office by August 14th at 9 a.m. This is not practicable for a number of reasons. First, the date and time you proposed provided less than 48 hours notice. Moreover, the Wansleys were outside Mississippi when you
crack this bit up.
Not scheduled to
Let's crack this bit up, man.
after the deadline you unilaterally imposed. Second, the parties never agreed to simply deliver the phone to your office. Instead, the agreement was that we would set a mutually agreeable date and time for the phone to be examined together by your office's forensic professionals, our forensic professionals, and possibly the FBI as well. For some who would take notice of this letter, they would immediately sound off across all pages. and further accused McIlrath and Mississippi officials assigned to the case for shady tactics and potential strategies to disrupt any legitimate findings about Wells's passing.
On July the 15th, the Mississippi DA agreed to jointly examine Nolan Xavier Wells' cell phone. But now, all of a sudden, August 12th, you give Nolan's mom 48 hours to hand in the cell phone, and now you no longer want to examine it together. If that's not corruption, I don't know what is. What changed between July the 15th and August the 12th? What are you afraid to show Nolan's mom in that cell phone? Oh, and the corruption doesn't just stop there. You gave Nolan's mom 48 hours to produce that phone while she was out of town, and you know it was impossible for her to give you that phone in those 48 hours.
For some online, Wells's friends who he traveled to the island with have remained key persons of interest. Now, at the top of July, McIlrath would become a discussion for former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore, who, while on Facebook Live, would issue a warning about her from his previous dealings.
I had the unfortunate experience of meeting the DA, McIlrath, back in 2019 when I was a partner with the Cochran firm. And Toussaint Diamond Sims was killed by a Morris Point Police Department officer on August the 8th, 2019.
Let's get to 100 likes, gang. Everybody double tap that screen for me, gang.
There were several witnesses that said that young
Everybody
man
double tap. We need 50 more likes. Well, 49 more likes.
5 times in the back by that Morris Point cop.
48 more likes. My fault.
Nothing in his hands.
Before we had 100.
DA McIlrath presented all that evidence, overwhelming evidence, and she still could not secure an indictment of that officer in Jackson County. So before everybody goes and starts singing her praises, let's make sure she's not going to do another sham presentation to the grand jury. And we know that you can present things to various grand juries until you get an indictment. It's mighty funny that the regular saying is you can indict a ham sandwich. With all that evidence, after someone was killed in 2019, and I happened to represent the family at that time as a partner in the Cochran firm, and I met with her as well as the family, similar to what happened today, so I've been through that process with her. She will offer you sweet
salute
tea.
everybody in the business. Salute all the new people.
Bail.
Everybody's new. Salute everybody, man. Hit the like and sub, gang.
You, Amy. Angel, excuse me. We're not going to sleep on you. This time, we expect you to present the evidence in a manner like you present it in other situations that you can secure an indictment or indictments. I do know you don't have to be indicted for anything to be arrested. All of this evidence is out there now. It should have been presented to a judge by now. Some of it for probable cause to make some arrest. Some of it to get the search warrants. I am not about any dilatory tactics. You're not going to punt the ball and put it on the grand jury. Certain folks need to be arrested now if there's so much evidence. Evidently, there's enough evidence for the FBI to now be involved. Evidently, there's enough evidence now for the DA to announce that she's going to present things to the grand jury. There's nothing to present to a grand jury if there's an accidental drowning.
As of recent, Wells's family has went on to double down on their willingness to participate in an investigation of his phone, examine if data was ever removed after his disappearance, along with finding any information that can help with the investigation. For those who don't know, Wells's phone was allegedly left on the boat he would travel on to Horn Island, and would later be tracked by his family after his friends would have his phone in their possession. In an interview with online commentator Officer Tatum at the end of July, Wells's friends would push back on any suspicions that they were hiding Nolan's phone from family.
Everybody who left stuff on the boat, it was Wyatt's boat, so Wyatt put it in his truck, like it was normal. And so the phone was in possession in Wyatt's truck. And when that mom came over and asked for it, there was no issue at all with us giving the phone to her.
And did you guys go through the phone, or?
Of course not. I mean, none of us had a reason to go through Nolan's phone. I mean, there's multiple phones on the boat. Why would it be? And the boat was having issues. Why would our concern be getting on Nolan's phone or something? I mean, I don't even know Nolan's password. None of my friends do. We had no reason ever to get on Nolan's phone and look at anything.
As of this report, it is still unclear when McIlrath plans to meet with the grand jury to determine if there are any criminal charges.
How many people think they went through his phone?
In connection to Wells's passing.
Put in my chat right now. They went through his phone.
Now that we
put in my chat, they went through his phone. They went through it. Put it in my chat if you think they went through it. They went through it. Let me know. I'm asking y'all. I ain't know what I'm saying. I'm just asking y'all, gang. I'm asking y'all, gang. I'm just asking y'all. Somebody saying, yep, hell yeah, yep, they did. Oh, man. Everybody said, nah, Savage. Nah, Savage, they capping. They saying, nah, Savage, they capping. Something ain't right. Hold on, let's watch. Let's watch, old boy, before we get into this NAACP. Yeah, before we get into this NAACP, let's watch the old boy. Let's watch. Oh no! I'll tell you what we'll go to. Oh, I tell you what to get things shaking real quick. Let's get things shaking real quick. Let's get things shaking real quick. I tell you what to get shaking. Yeah, yeah. Wait. I can get it shaking for you now real quick. Yeah. I tell you what to get things shaking, and got things all moving around, fumbling around. I tell you what really make things fumble around and move around. We can go to it now. Yeah, let's go. Listen to this one right here. This is the real deal. Anybody say something about this person, I ain't gonna lie, I'm really gonna might have to block you from the channel or put you in timeout. I'm gonna be honest. Let's go. But it's
all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me that they all passed.
Nancy, my clients have not taken a polygraph test.
Nobody's guilty. And everybody's a suspect. We don't know the truth yet, but we will.
We have had multiple witnesses reach out to us, two confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island around 6 p.m. on July 4th. Well after the Triton said left around 4:30. And so those witnesses have went to investigators, they've talked to the police, and they've done what they're supposed to do. These witnesses know Nolan. They've known him for a long time. They were able to make a positive ID. And they told that to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
What witnesses? Where? Who, what, where, why, and when? That is a renowned trial lawyer named Tyler Cox, and he is representing the acquaintances of Nolan's that took him to Horn Island on their boat, the Triton. Curious, we've seen, hey, let's pull up that video, control room, of everyone getting on the boat before they went to Horn Island. It's very interesting.
Salute everybody in there.
Okay. Here we go. This was from the Officer Tatum show, and you're about to see people. There they are down at the right.
Y'all give me to 100 likes,
and
guys.
There's actual video of people.
Hit the super chat.
See the boat.
Hit the
at about 1 o'clock.
gifts for me, gang.
Excellent shot, guys.
Support,
people getting on.
Support the platform for me. Let's go.
And it keeps going to where you see everybody that got on the boat. But here's my big question tonight, before I can even get to the alleged witnesses that Tyler Cox is telling us about. Dave Mack, joining me, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Can I see the video again, please? Dave Mack, I'm seeing everybody preparing the Triton to go out, In this shot, they're down at about 3 o'clock. Okay, keep looking. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then suddenly you switch to a different camera. There you go. That's the boat. So, Dave Mack, where is the evidence? Where is the video of the boat? Is that Nolan right there? Walking along the light blue shorts, and he at that time had on a white shirt. I think that's Nolan right there. Dave Mack, where is the evidence, the video evidence of them coming back?
Nancy, we have not seen evidence of them coming back. Remember, 3 boats caravanned out to the island, and then we have different stories about when they arrived back on the mainland. But we don't have video of any of them
So we don't
showing
have
back
that
up.
video.
Correct.
Okay, let's circle back to the alleged witnesses that. He's a great trial lawyer, by the way. Wins a lot of cases. This Tyler Cox, he's representing the acquaintances that went to Horn Island with Nolan. I've got to get to the phone, Torpedo. But he's not the only one that says they have witnesses. Listen.
These 2 witnesses, 2 very reliable, very credible, and very upstanding members of the community, they saw Nolan. And they've known Nolan for years. There's no chance that they made a mistake. And by the way, this can be corroborated through other evidence, other eyewitness accounts. And that's the end of it right there.
That's from the Officer Tatum Show. Susan Hendricks joining me, veteran, investigative journalist, author of Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi. What witnesses? I understand that there's video and witnesses. One places him there at 5, one places him there at 6. Significance, the Triton, and we can show this by GPS. They are right about this, left Horn Island around 4:30. So if he is spotted, and you can confirm to me that he is spotted there at 5 or 6, if that video has a timestamp on it, and I can corroborate that, or I can corroborate the witnesses weren't drunk. Hey, let's see that video control room again of Nolan bent over, and all you can see is his blue trunk right there. Now, that's not a very good eyewitness right there, okay? Do I think that's him? Yeah, I do. I do think that's Nolan. But I would tear that up in court. Tear it to shreds. There's all sorts of... You know what? Hold on, Susan Hendricks. Greg Morse joining me, veteran trial lawyer of Morse Legal. He's in the Southern District of Florida, former West Palm Beach public defender, and author of The Untested. Greg, in Florida, as in Georgia, as in this jurisdiction of Mississippi, the code, the official code of Mississippi, annotated, lays out how you establish or cross-examine, same thing, same criteria, an eyewitness, such as, I memorized them. How far were you away from the witness? From the target. What was the lighting? Do you wear glasses? Were you wearing them that night? Were you inebriated? Had you smoked pot? How can you prove that to me? Did anything obstruct your view? Was it daytime or nighttime? What time of the day was it? What were the conditions? You go on and on and on. You can rattle them off, right? I know you can. So
absolutely.
How do I know the eyewitness can't identify anything except the back of his legs, like in that video?
Well, that's the thing. There's no details about any identification. It's just a broad statement that other people saw Nolan after the boat left. The video you just showed shows from a view from behind of someone bending over. Did the person have sunglasses on? Were they familiar with who they were actually looking at and identifying? How much had they drank during the day? It was a party scene. That's what usually these boat spots are. There's one by me in West Palm Beach, very similar setup called Peanut Island. So most people also, right, they don't think something's important until after the fact. They're just going about their day, notice people walking by. So from what you showed, that's not a very strong identification from that position, but there's no details.
While I've got you, Greg Morse, let me throw another question at you. And look, I'm not wearing a prosecution or a defense hat. As you know, I'm a crime victim. I would say I'm coming at it from that angle. But I was very disturbed, Greg, when I got wind that there is no criminal investigation. It's been said over and over and over. Why not? We don't know how he died. For instance, if he did have water in his lungs, okay, maybe he did drown. But how did he get in the water? Did he fall in the water? Was somebody, wrestling with him in the water and they held him down? They went, oh my stars, I killed him and left?
Wait. How many people think that happened? How many people think he just fell in the water? How many people think somebody hit him up on the water and said, oops, my bad. Oops, my bad. Because that's what, you see how the look that Nancy got on her face? That's the look I got on my face after she said what she said. That's the look I got on my face right now as we speak after she said what she said. Right now. That's the look I got right now. No cap. Crazy work. Let's go. Get the lights up for me, gang. Donate to the platform. Don't be scared to represent, gang. God, I know some of y'all today, the middle of the week, some of us get paid on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Hey, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. $1.99. Come on. Y'all remember they just banned old boy from Walmart that asked for $1 all the time? You got $1 buck? I know you got $1.99, and I'm trying to get me a pair of Bobos to make your feet feel fine. Bobos, they cost $1.99. Bobos, y'all just trying to get a pair of Bobos. That's it. And then y'all want to do it like that? All right, bet. All right, let's go.
Did he hit his head? I mean, there's a lot more to it than saying, "Oh yeah,
y'all
he
nigga
drowned."
out here walking in just nothing but socks.
Someone state there is no criminal investigation? I understand the grand jury is about to be convened. That doesn't mean there's a crime, but doesn't that suggest to you a grand jury inside the Superior Courthouse, inside the district attorney's office, would suggest there is a criminal investigation?
Like that trash ass ridge that y'all be burning on. If y'all be
lead
burning.
someone to believe that, yeah, a criminal investigation was undergoing. However, when we look at how this has played out over the last 6 weeks,
we got light up for Nolan. Nolan's birthday is today, gang. Light up for Nolan.
Nolan Wells' phone at this
His birthday is today.
In a criminal investigation,
light up.
Law enforcement's going to use those tools to get this information. So this could just be a drowning. I'm sitting down, and this could just be a drowning. And that's why they're looking at it that way, because nothing's told them it's
yet.
But everything not a crime. It doesn't have to be investigated as a crime.
We're still talking. We've already established that. Here's the other, you know what? I'm going to let you think about what you just said. Yeah. I'm going to go to Jeff Shetler joining us. Guys, this is a special guest joining us out of Edisto Island, South Carolina.
I feel like the area. Who got that?
Author of 5 books. Last one, 2 weeks to operational tracking. I like this one. Red Dog Rising. Canine Trailing. The Greatest Path. Tactical Tracker Teams. The Tao of Trailing. He is at GAK9.com. Question. I get this a lot from the viewers, so you can
Bobos, make your feet feel fine.
Have to be dead.
All right, I'm telling you. Hold on, wait. Somebody just said, hey, appreciate that gift. Somebody just said, a party hat. Who that was, Ward? Appreciate that gift, guy. Bobos, I'm for real. They make your feet feel fine. And guess how much they cost? $1.99. That's it. They only cost $1.99. Y'all can't even get me a pair of Bobos. That messed up though. Let's go. And they make your feet feel fine. Let's go though.
On the live or dead scent as soon as they're out there. So the time frame, from hours to a day or so is really not a big deal. It doesn't matter what type of dog you have that's looking for humans. Within that first 24 hours, either type of dog, a live finder, a deceased person dog, is going to be viable. They're going to pick up on anything that's there. The big issue that we have here is...
Hold on, wait. We got to stop the show. Because somebody in the chat just said they got some Granddaddy Purple. Man, I'm going to put you in timeout. Just because old boy wrote that on the fucking bag and black magic marker, you think you got some Granddaddy Purple. Man, that nigga got you. I'll just play. All right, let's get back to it. All right.
After the fact, if the dog was placed at the scene initially to search for our victim, then the chances are the success rate would actually be pretty good. The island is very, very small. There's not a lot of hiding places. There's not a lot of places he could go. On the other hand, inside the water might be a different story. We have tide issues and everything else that are occurring there.
So you bring in a scent dog. I would assume you bring in a scent dog first. But the issue with that, in my mind, probatively, like what can I use? How can I use that in trial? What's it going to prove for me? I already know Nolan was on the boat to start with. So, of course, the dog is going to pick up Nolan's scent.
How many people think they should have searched the boat?
So I know.
How many people think they should have searched the boat? Let me know in the chat. Put they should have searched the boat. If not, hell no. What in the hell they need to search the boat for? Y'all let me know, gang. I'm asking y'all, gang. Ain't like I know everything. Y'all always say, hey, Sam, what you think, Sam? Hey, Sam, what you think? No. I open up the platform to see what y'all think. Type it in the chat. Let's go.
I said dog's going to pick up on that. But a cadaver dog. What should have been done immediately with a cadaver dog. And I'm putting this out there, not to say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Maybe it happened and we haven't been informed. The press, the media, has no right to information in an ongoing investigation.
Hey,
so
appreciate that gift,
this may have
Ward.
been done and we haven't been told. I can only pray. So, regarding a cadaver dog, what should have been done, Jeff Shetler, and how should it have been done, and when should it have been done?
Lock down the location. Don't let anybody on there. Get the dogs in. See what type of reaction they have. Every second that goes by, every minute that goes by, every hour that goes by will have an impact on the dog work when it comes to age of the material, age of the odor, and more importantly, what your contamination factor is. And this is the one big thing that nobody ever really thinks about. That they think the dogs are going to be these magical creatures that detect everything that you're looking for. But that's going to be mitigated dramatically by any type of human activity on the scene. That's the first thing that has to happen. So if you're going to use dogs, you need to get them out there right away. They actually have to be one of the first things on scene.
Are you watching?
Somebody said Carmelo is guilty. What Carmelo Anthony got to do with this? I'm so tired of people bringing Carmelo Anthony in this. Carmelo Anthony ain't got nothing to do with this case. Their cases are both different. Okay? Let's get that squared away right now. Carmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells case are two different cases. Stop mixing the two together. Stop it. Stop it, gang. Stop it. We don't know what the hell happened to them. You know what? I might be capped, because guess what? We still don't know what the hell happened to Austin. We don't know what happened under that tent. Be honest with y'all. Okay, be real. Okay, be real. Be real, gang. The footage they put out, this is all topic, but I don't care. This is my channel. I do what I want to do over here. But listen, okay. If the footage they done put out, gang, with the Carmelo Anthony situation, bro, only footage that was clear with the Carmelo Anthony situation when they walked in, that was the only clear part. The other part that they don't put out with that, we couldn't see that. That was all fuzzy. All you could see was push, shove, and Carmelo Anthony take off running doing a 4-flat. That's all you see. So y'all can mix this down. Oh yeah, Carmelo. No. We still don't know what the hell happened on the Carmelo Anthony. We don't know what happened on that damn tent. I seen push and shoving. Appreciate that gift. Somebody just sent a gift. Appreciate that gift. I seen pushing and shoving. That's what I saw. I'm talking about barely saw what I saw on the video. That's all I'm saying. So people can stop all that race baiting. Nah, bro. I don't know if they jumped them neither. All I seen, push, shove, he run out the tent. That's all I saw. Damn, bro. We can quit all this. We saw this happen. It was damn 30 niggas on one person. I didn't see 30 people on one person. I didn't see 100 people on one person. I seen push, shove, running. That's all I saw with my own eyes. If y'all saw something else, maybe y'all got y'all eyes from ChatGPT or down somewhere else. Because there ain't no damn human eyes. They gotta be AI eyes. Can't be real. But let's go. I'm done with the Carmelo Anthony case. That's why I ain't been coming. I'm done with it. I'm sick of everybody's theory on what the hell happened. We don't know what the hell happened with that shit. So don't compare it to this.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. If you are a homeowner, you've probably thought, should I call American Finance
And we don't need
refinance,
Nancy.
pay off?
All right, now I fought with you. I told you my old lady. You know we're gonna ride till the wheels fall off. But I told you about these commercials and ads and videos in your videos. I told you about that. Let's get to the news now. Let's go. Hit that like and sub button. We at 82 likes. Let's go. Turn that bit up.
Most important, he is a death investigator with over 10,000 death scenes under his belt. Isn't it true, Joe Scott, that a cadaver dog, aka a human remains detection dog, can absolutely detect the scent of a dead person as early as 45 minutes to 3 hours after the death because of the cellular breakdown in organic compounds? Could you translate what I just said, which I said in court before, into regular people talk?
Yeah, so our building blocks are cells, and so those cells begin to break down. And you're right. People don't understand that human decomposition literally begins at a cellular level the moment we're gone, okay? So the two compounds that you're looking for here when it comes to cadaver searches utilizing canine assets are putrescine and cadaverine, or cadaverine as well. And what they are, they're an organic compound that combine as a result of the cellular breakdown, and it gives off a particular odor. Now,
hey, and I'm gonna say that too.
Saying just a moment ago,
and I'm gonna say that too.
Some type.
While we talking about the Nolan Wells case, while everybody's sitting back saying this happened, that happened, if it come back that Nolan Wells drowned, what a lot of y'all gonna say then? I'm gonna be honest. Let's be honest here. If it comes back that he drowned, y'all gonna say, "Oh no, foul." They made up something. They just put something in the system. That's why it took so long, y'all. Watch what I tell y'all. I'm telling y'all, either way this case go, they're not gonna let it go. Nobody's gonna let it go, no matter what color it is. I'm not saying what color. Don't matter what. I'm telling y'all, don't matter what they say, whatever the outcome that gonna be with this case, I'm telling y'all, gang. They're not gonna let it go. They always gonna say it was something. Oh no, there's a cover up, y'all. He didn't drown. And what if he actually drowned for real? What everybody gonna say? I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna keep dragging it along. And that's on y'all, gang. That's on y'all. Use your damn brain and not as a shit rat. I'm gonna tell you like my stepdad used to tell me. Use your brain as a brain and not a damn shit rat. Don't be a bird box your whole life. Let's go.
Let's just say blood evidence, all right, on the boat, that I pray this boat was locked down quickly. If there's an impact, say, for instance, on a railing, any of the gunnels in there, those areas in there, and you have blood deposition, guess what happens, Nancy? That blood begins to break down, just like a body does, okay? So you'll have the scent that is there, and it is wholly different than tracking a human, all right? Now, where else would you find it? Well, we know that Nolan's remains are allegedly found on the shore, right? They're allegedly right there. Now, we also know, and remember what the second autopsy said, he's in an advanced state of decomposition at this point in time. So the trick is here trying to understand.
That's when he's found on the beach. Hold on.
Exactly.
Joe Scott, that's when he's found on the beach. But my understanding, of course, I'm just a trial lawyer. I'm not a canine expert like Jeff Shetler is, but within minutes to hours, within minutes, dogs can pick up on the scent of human decomp. It starts almost immediately, and the dog can smell that.
You can say within 45 minutes, but I have to tell you, there is a lot of variability here, dependent upon a lot of environmental conditions, even the individual that is decomposing. That's going to play into it. So that's not a static number. It's a bracketed number. So you don't know how long it's going to take for this to actually begin to develop.
We also know that well-trained dogs like Jeff Shetler works with can still hit on decomp, even microscopic particles in soil, long after the body has been removed, sometimes years or even decades later, depending on the condition. But as Shetler just pointed out, in these conditions, where the surface of the boat is exposed to water, to wind, to contamination, not so much. I'm going to circle back to Jeff in just a moment regarding any possibility of tracking human decomp or human scent on Horn Island. The thing is, we know he was there, so we know the dogs will hit on him being there alive, but what about dead? I also want to clear something else up, and this is really important. Greg Morse, these acquaintances that went out on the beach, I'm not razor locked on them. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at everybody. Who are these two witnesses? If they are telling the truth, that Nolan Wells was on Horn Island at either 5 or 6 o'clock, then the acquaintances on the Triton are in the clear, because Morse, I know based on their GPS what time they left the island. So we have to keep our minds open as to what, who, what, where, why, the whole shebang. We can't lock in on those acquaintances if they had already left and he's still on the island. Is that true? I don't know. But it could be, right? Many an investigation has failed because the prosecutor did not keep their mind open as to potential suspects, right?
Well, that's 100. You know, the police have to keep an open mind here. It's not even a criminal investigation. So 6 weeks approximately has gone by. The folks that were on the boat with Nolan, nothing has come out even remotely to indicate they were involved in some foul play at this point at all. They're just people that went out to this island with their friend. It appears their friend may have stayed afterwards, and, you know, a tragedy happened. Maybe something else happened that wasn't involving them.
A tragedy did happen.
6
Nolan
weeks.
Wells is dead, and I'm going to find out how. But I tell you what,
but you're talking
I
about
am
6
curious
weeks.
about
This is
why no
this is
polygraphs have
isolated.
been taken. I'm just
Why?
very curious.
But why?
But many
Why?
defense
For
lawyers
what?
wouldn't dream of letting their
They're
clients.
not suspects.
Let me get to
But
the phone.
Nancy, you're turning what's not a criminal investigation and want the trappings of one.
Stop it.
But when you talk about polygraph,
his lips moving.
Oh man.
Here.
Oh man. And then they going this hard like this. Everybody going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like this. She had to cut his damn mic. It's the second or third person that Nancy Grace had the goddamn mic she had to cut. Then y'all going over there letting the lady talk to y'all like this. Then she cutting y'all mic. Man, this is crazy work. Let's go though. I'm here for it all. It's savage.
Yeah, just keep them just like that. Yeah, that's the way I like.
Horn y'all niggas. Horn
Don't
y'all
hurt your
niggas
head,
over here,
Morse.
bitch.
Don't hurt your head. Okay. Susan Hendricks. Oh my stars, Hendricks. The family is now seemingly being accused of wrongdoing because they haven't handed the phone over yet. What happened back on, I've got a big note here, phone July 15. Is that when the family had a meeting and said,
And y'all be
yes,
coming here just
you
talking
can
like y'all
have
be
the
knowing
phone.
what's going on.
But they want independent examiners there at
Somebody
the same
pull up on
time.
y'all and
Right? Tell me
let that
July
bitch
15,
go.
what happened?
And nobody ain't gonna know what's
July
going
15th,
on.
the attorney for the parents of Nolan met and said, yes, we want to give over the phone, but we want someone in the middle here, someone from the outside, an expert to analyze the phone. It appeared everyone agreed. Then all of a sudden they get a letter saying, we want the phone and you have 24 hours to send it over. The DA sent that. And the parents were out of town and said, wait, we don't have the time to do that. Hence the narrative that they're not cooperating. Now they say, Nolan's parents, look, we have our experts on standby. This week, pick a day. And not to mention on the 19th would have been Nolan's 19th birthday. A difficult week for the family, but they said, hey, we'll give up his cell phone. We want someone, a mediator, if you will, an expert in the middle.
Well, you know, this is interesting. what you just said. Joe Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, which has, I've been there, and it is a world-class Crim Pro division. Whole building, whole floor is set up just to recreate scenes. I was so impressed by it. Joe Scott has worked with me on multiple recreations, intricate recreations at Jacksonville State University to try to figure out is what the defendant is saying.
Somebody say I don't
Does that
trust the
make sense?
parents.
It's what the state is
Why
saying.
you don't
Does
trust the
that make
parents,
sense?
gang?
Just all sorts of things you can
Why you
learn
need
from
the phone if
actually
you drown?
recreating the scene. That's
I'm reading y'all messages.
Joe
I'm seeing what
Scott,
y'all typing.
I have examined evidence myself at the crime lab. And you know, the crime lab out on Panthersville Road is amazing, state of the art, with the defense attorney there. And I typically would not allow a defense team to examine the evidence unless I was there. Do I think they're going to do something nefarious? Maybe.
Y'all double tap that screen for me,
I don't want
gang.
them to even
Let's
touch
get to
it.
200 likes, gang. Double
If
tap
it
that
could
screen for me.
somehow,
Turn that bit up for me.
compromise the
Y'all
evidence,
turn me
and
up.
it can. A lot of the times, even touching it
The
can
more y'all
compromise
turn
the
me
evidence.
up, the more we,
This
you
is
know what
not
I'm saying?
unheard of, that
The more we
family
showing
wants
and
some
doing in that
independent
bit.
investigator
Turn that bit
there
up.
when the phone is searched.
Yeah, you're right, and it happens. Nancy, I've actually been in autopsy suites with defense attorneys. Believe it or not, all manner of people come through the labs over the years as an independent set of eyes. So let's just say that they do, in fact, have an independent individual examine this phone. And I think this question goes back to you as a prosecuting attorney. Would any kind of findings that were on that phone, would they be negated as a result of the state not doing? You know, if you wanted to move forward as using this evidence in a criminal prosecution, perhaps, would it invalidate it since the state is not doing it? And what are you going to find? And how many hands are going to be on this phone at that given time?
Are you saying that if the defense did their own investigation of the phone and the state did not, would that negate the defense findings?
Yeah, because remember, we've got a grand jury that's going to be in panel, allegedly.
HELLYES.
All right.
The first thing
You know she be ready.
I would do is, isn't it true?
You know she be
I
ready.
gave you the opportunity to review the phone. Isn't that true? On this date. And you didn't do it. So don't come complaining now. Oh yeah, that would be a matter for cross-exam.
She said H-E-double. Did she say what she think I saw? She said,
Our next sponsor?
I'm gonna have to teach her about her mouth. Did she just say what I thought she said? I'm gonna have to teach her. Say I told her about that. All right, let's get into this Professor Griff in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna get into Professor Griff, and then we gotta hop into that NAACP news. We gotta hop into that.
Forensics expert, founding member of the FBI Cellular Analysis Survey Team, historical cellular analysis expert, former FBI, 22 years, former homicide, Norfolk, Virginia Police Department, works multiple cases, and currently with precision cellular analysis.
Hold up, before we get into it.
I could go.
Before we get into him, gang, who he look like in the chat? Pull who old boy look like in the chat real quick. Let's go.
On. Scott, tell me how this examination, I mean, you don't just pick up the phone and go, okay, I looked at it. What is a phone examination? How do I get evidence of potential snaps that were sent that day, texts, emails, photos taken during those critical hours? And important, how do I find out if anything was deleted? We've heard, yes, it's deleted. No, it wasn't deleted. The only way we're going to know is from a forensics exam. How do you do it? Now, take baby steps. Go ahead.
Are you watching?
All right.
Because it's time. What
whatever happens next.
My bad. Who they did typing like?
It's pretty easy nowadays. You get the physical phone itself. You hook it up to a device like the Cellbrite, which is one of the main producers of this type of software that can download phones. First of all, obviously, you have to have the password to the phone. If not, then you have to go through a lot of processes to get past the password and into the phone. Once you're into the phone, and this can be done with other people standing by as you're talking about another investigator for the defense or for the family or something like that being there, they can sit there and watch you download the phone. And basically, once you download a copy of what's on the phone, and you're not really messing with the evidence that's on the phone, you're not changing it, you're just copying it to another computer, and then you can start going through that data. You can look at all the text messages, and it'll even let you know which ones have been deleted. Now, of course, deleted means, it's
Put him up, please. Put him up, please. What do you see when you're looking for deleted? Do you see like you log on and you just see all this data, X's and O's and digits, and how do I tell something's been deleted? Explain that to me. I mean, unless it's in recently deleted, but even my twins at age 3 knew how to go into my phone and find recently deleted and delete it. How do you find it?
So it's actually just, on the computer screen, you're looking at all the lists of text messages, and it says right to the right of it, this one was deleted. So in an aspect, if it hadn't been overwritten, think about how computers work. You delete something, just like a phone, you delete something, it kind of takes it and moves it into a to an area you're not using. And then once, if the phone starts getting full, it starts writing over that deleted stuff. So things that were deleted at some point in time are still there and can be recovered. The actual texts of the text message, the content of the text messages is still there until it's getting written over by the phone.
Scott Eicher, has your company, Precision Cellular Analysis, performed these independent examinations of phones?
Yes, they have. We have a whole group of individuals in our company that just specialize in downloading phones, rebuilding phones that are damaged so that the data can be pulled from the phone, and breaking into the phones if we don't have the password.
What is Cellbrite and how is it used?
It's a program that's been around for a good amount of time, probably 15 years, and each year it gets more updated, but it's a program that actually goes into the phone and allows you to copy the information from the phone onto to a different computer. And then you can look at that data and spend time going through it, get all the chronological information from text messages to pictures to Snapchat. So
y'all double tap that screen if you're new to the channel, gang.
From all these different areas of the phone.
What about a digital forensics go bag? A portable data collection rig. We saw it in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. It was used when the investigators went into the Guthrie family home. You see it on field operations, intelligence, digital forensics. They extract or they mirror digital info right there on location. A tactical exploitation kit like a forensics go bag.
Yes, those are available, and basically Cellbrite is that also. It's more for phones, but you can have the same type of device for computers and for other devices in the home. But Cellbrite is also a portable device that you can take to a crime scene, take to a house, or go to a individual's residence and do that down. It doesn't have to be done in the office.
According to the family, they have made the phone and their independent experts readily available.
The Jackson County DA's office, as well as our forensic team, and possibly the FBI, we're going to together download and examine the phone. So it's done one time with everybody together, right? This is very common in the law. This is what is supposed to happen. We are waiting for the DA to determine the time, the place, the date. Let us know, and we are going to be there with our forensics team and anybody else, but it's done one time, one examination. We're ready for it to happen.
From our friends at WLOX, that's Liza Park, working with Nolan's mother. To you, Susan Hendricks, now somehow it's made to look like the family, Nolan's family, is not cooperating. Let me understand what has happened. So Nolan's family went out of state. I don't know why. And while they were gone, they get a demand letter from the DA's office.
Yeah, that said you have 24 hours. And they were at the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists Conference in Georgia. They spoke on stage and they said, wait a minute, we're not there. We can't do that. I thought we agreed on July 15th at that meeting that we would come together and do this. And now you're acting like we're not cooperating, but we are. So then they came back now, Nolan's family attorney saying, okay, 24 hours notice and we'll make it happen. They're not hiding the phone. They just don't trust for the DA to have the phone alone without an independent investigation into the phone, someone who's not biased.
And, you know, Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, the family is afraid. Many people have seen injustice in other cases that have nothing to do with them. And I believe they fear evidence will be destroyed or mishandled, and it can never be recaptured. It's very possible it could never be recaptured.
Appreciate
You
that
and I
gift,
and
Tiffany.
Joe Scott, you did an incredible recreation of the Ellen Greenberg case. Remember? Ellen Greenberg stabbed, I think, 20 plus times, including the back of the head, the back of the neck, the back, actually severing the dura of her spinal cord. And the ruling was suicide. Okay, this is what I'm getting leading up to.
Hey, Super Chat must ain't working, gang. I see.
All of the
I appreciate
evidence.
it. Hey, I appreciate the gifts too, but hey, I appreciate the gifts too. I ain't gonna count. But the super chats really be helping me out, gang. The gifts help me out too, but the super chats really help me out. Yeah. I appreciate the gifts too, though. I ain't gonna count. Let's go though.
Was not documented at the scene. The police told, this is in Philly, told the apartment manager, sure, clean it up. As a matter of fact, here's a professional cleaner. Call them. They had it professionally cleaned. Bye-bye, evidence. Gone. Not only that, the apartment manager took a video of the inside of Ellen's apartment to show basically, look, this is how it was before. This is how it is after. We want to prove we didn't take anything. We didn't steal anything. Everything is accounted for. And that's SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. So when they didn't process the crime scene, they went, oh, thank goodness, at least we have the video. They handed the video over to Philly PD, and they lost it.
Yeah.
Just let that
There's one more thing. There's one more thing that kind of ties back to. There's one more thing that kind of ties back to Nolan's case here as well, and that's the fact that with Ellen, I don't know if you recall this, the computer made it out of there as well. Do you recall that? And that was never examined, right?
Hold
So
up,
that's
somebody
again,
said,
we're left.
somebody said gas is $3.75. Then somebody said gas is $2.35. I told y'all what I was trying to get. A pair of Bobos. They cost $1.29. Bobos. They make your feet feel fine. Bobos. I'm just trying to get a pair of Bobos. They cost $1.99. That's it. That's all the Bobos I'm trying to get. Y'all talking about $3.75 and $2.35. I'm just trying to get a pair of Bobos. That's it. Let's go though.
Wanting Nancy
Ellen's
relative to all of the data.
with all of the info leading up to the time of her murder, ruled suicide, taken off the scene. Now, I'm not claiming that the people that took it, they were family members of the fiance. For all I know, they took it because they didn't want anybody to steal it. And nothing nefarious happened. But the problem is, you lock down a family. Look what's happened to Nancy Guthrie. A pizza delivery guy came and walked right over the blood evidence to deliver a pizza. Same thing here. Dave Mack I get why the Nolan Wells family is fearful.
Oh, you know, Nancy, this investigation, I'm putting air quotes in that because if you remember early on, it was a drowning, you know, and no investigation had even been done. You realize he was missing. You know, it wasn't like it was hours and they went back and he was missing for almost 2 days. And his family early on.
How many people think it's sufficient for them to be missing
information
for like 2 days though? How many people think that is strange that Nolan Wells was missing for 2 days? They didn't find him that night face down. They found him 2 days after face down. I'm just asking y'all, gang. I'm asking y'all, gang. Hold on. Let's get into this NAACP, man.
None other than the NAACP is joining the fight and the investigation into what happened to Nolan Wells. Smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody, bitter man. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells and happy birthday to Nolan Wells. We got a lot to get into, gang.
NAACP is joining
We got a lot to get into.
representing the family of Nolan Wells. Wells is the 18-year-old who was found dead along the Mississippi Gulf Coast just last month. He traveled by boat with friends to an island, but he didn't return with the group. This actually happened on July 4th. The search groups found Wells' body 2 days later, and the investigation into his death continues. Joining us right now is Kristen Clark. She's the general counsel for the NAACP. Kristen, thank you so much for your time. So I'm curious what prompted your team to join this investigation.
Let's go.
Yeah, what a tragedy. Nolan.
How do y'all feel about the NAACP, gang? Will the NAACP join this investigation and, you know what I mean, turn over some new stones, man? The NAACP joining the Nolan Wells investigation, will that turn this thing up? Will that, you know, will this give us some new answers? Will some questions be answered? Talk to me, gang. How do y'all feel in the chat, gang? This is not Black Lives Matter. This is the NAACP. Do y'all think the NAACP should change anything in this investigation? Smash the like button, gang.
Wells should be alive today and with his family celebrating his 19th birthday, which would have been tomorrow. The NAACP is our nation's oldest and largest civil rights organization, and we're proud to stand with this grieving family and stand with...
Hold on, put some color in my chat, y'all. Donate to the platform, gang. Salute to everybody donating, y'all. Put some color in my chat. Get you a membership. Turn green in the chat, gang. Put some color in the chat, gang. Turn me up, gang. Salute to everybody donating to the platform, gang. Talk to me in the chat, gang.
And Trump in the search for truth and transparency. This family that has been suffering deserves to understand what happened and why their son is not alive today. We're bringing our expertise, our resources, and our full might to help answer the question of what happened to Nolan Wells. And so, again, we talk about your team joining this investigation. Can you also tell us more about what you'll be doing regarding this Wells case? What exactly are you guys going to be looking into?
Here we go.
We're really focused on the investigation. We're really focused on uncovering witnesses who have information. We're focused on uncovering the facts. Our goal here in bringing our resources to bear is to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. We can't afford to simply sit on our hands and wait for the results of a local investigation that's been incredibly opaque to date. This family is still grieving, and this family, like so many others, deserves nothing short of the truth and full transparency and understanding why their son is not with us today. And what is it about this case, the Nolan Wells case, that sparks your attention?
And I see people in the chat saying, why did they wait so long? So to the chat. I'm reading my chat, gang. People in the chat are saying, why did the NAACP wait so long to join the Nolan Wells investigation? Do y'all think they should have showed up the second week, the 4th or 5th day, hell, day 1, when Ben Crump showed up? Do y'all think the NAACP could have helped this thing if they would have joined earlier? But either way, it don't matter. They're here now. They're here now. Yeah, they're here now. Do y'all think that the NAACP can make a change in a positive way to the family of Nolan Wells when it comes to this investigation? They do not trust the state of Mississippi. They do not trust the DA.
They don't trust Sheriff Ledbetter, none of them motherfuckers. The medical examiner, they don't trust nobody in Mississippi. So do you think the NAACP can come in here and maybe you know what I mean, bridge some of these gaps? You know what I mean? Turn over some of these stones, get some questions answered. Do y'all think the NAACP can come in here and really make a difference?
Caused you all to say, okay, this is a case we want to take part in and join in with the investigation?
Black Lives Matter. It's as simple as that. And too often in our country, we see young Black people who are found hanging from trees, who die, who have lost their lives. And we don't see government doing enough. We don't see prosecutors doing enough to unearth the truth. And the NAACP in this moment is committed to making sure that these are names that are not simply swept into the dust bins of history. We will fight for truth and fight for justice and accountability where wanted, but we want to make sure that this family knows that we're with them. Every single day, Nolan's mother wakes up with one question: why is my son not here? And we're
what they gonna do though, Jane? What they gonna do? What they gonna do, man? Cause shout out to her, man. She's talking, big game for us. We here to help. You know what I mean? The family should have to fight alone. It's things that, they really need done, questions they need answered, and we are here to really bag up the family of Nolan Wells into the investigation of what really happened to him. Some of y'all are saying it's, they showed up too late. Some of y'all are saying right on time. I'm just asking myself, man, what can the NAACP do? What is it? What can they do that Ben Crump haven't been able to do? That's what I'm asking y'all, gang. What can the NAACP do that Ben Crump has not been able to do so far? Because as of right now, we're still waiting on the phone evidence. There's a lot of things we're waiting on. The autopsy from the state, the toxicology report from Ben Crump, as well as the state. So it's still a lot of things that we don't have answers to. But what can the NAACP do? Can they do any goddamn thing? Smash, what can they do that Ben Crump couldn't do? Smash that motherfucking like button. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells and happy birthday to Nolan Wells. If you got some Reggie, man, if you got some CBD or some K2, please put that in there right now, gang. Please.
The full legal team to make sure that we're bringing all of our investigations.
Only if they can resurrect her good Marshall to Angel Patterson
for truth.
And Kristen, I think it's
out to Angel Patterson
that
they better resurrect
for you all is
goddamn her good
someone
Marshall
out there who knows something to come forward, right? So is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers, anything you'd like to say to someone out there who's watching this and maybe has some answers?
Yeah, contact our tip line, contact the NAACP, contact the Ben Crump Law Firm if you have information. This family deserves to know the truth about what happened and why their son did not return from this trip. And all across the country, we need to be doing a better job at making sure that we are fully investigating these unusual deaths of Black people, and that where appropriate, we're seeking justice and accountability.
Okay, I hear.
Kristen Clark, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Man, okay, hey, I hear her, gang. I hear her.
Man, it's crazy, gang.
I hear her, gang. I hear what she's saying, man.
It's crazy, gang. How many people think they need to? Do they need them? Do they need them, gang? Do they need them? Y'all let me know. Do they need them, gang? Do they need them?
Yes. You did. I want to know, what can the NAACP do, man? You know what I mean? What can y'all do? You know what I mean? How will y'all join this?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do you think that y'all think they need them, gang? Y'all let me know, man.
That investigators online, Ben Crump, what can they bring to the table?
Hey, shout out to Sco too. That's that boy Sco, man.
What can the NAACP do?
Go subscribe to that boy Sco, man.
Y'all talk to me in my chat, gang. Yeah, talk to me in my goddamn chat, man. I see y'all, man. I'm looking at the chat, man. Let me see. Let me talk to K Money real quick. Where K Money go? K Money said they will make the state be transparent about the results before it goes to trial. Shout out to K Money. Salute to K Money. Let me see. I hope I see that. O Swift. Shout out to O Swift. O Swift is saying funding. You know what I mean? Funding. I mean, they didn't raise $1 million. I know Ben Crump got a bag. I think they got some dollars over there already, man. But you're saying the NAACP could bring more funding to the situation. I mean, what will more funding do, gang?
Yeah, what more money gonna do?
They have resources.
That is
like
real, though. What is more money gonna do?
What resources? Talk to me, gang. What resources does the NAACP bring to the table that that Ben Crump don't have, that the family don't have, that know what I mean? Talk to me, gang. I need to know more about the NAACP, gang. I'm curious when it comes to what
crazy,
is the NAACP
gang.
gonna do. Yeah, I'm a little curious. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a little curious. What is the NAACP gonna do? Let's check in with this brother right here, gang. Let's check in with this brother.
Mark Morial, and this is Mark's Minute. The Nolan Wells case has riveted this nation.
Right.
That teenage boy in Mississippi and his death has sparked outrage, and I join in that outrage. Today, Kristen Clark, General Counsel of the NAACP, indicated she was joining the case.
Y'all hit that like and sub button for me, gang.
And other lawyers.
You know we coming with that content every day. We do lives every day,
I want
gang.
to compliment her and our
It's
colleagues
savage.
at NAACP for joining the case. Keep an eye and keep the family of Nolan Wells in your prayers.
Smash that like
Hi,
button.
Mark Morial, and this is Mark's Minute.
Smash that like button, gang. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button, gang. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. When it comes to the Nolan Wells case, I'm a little concerned, man. You feel me? Like I feel like I'm not gonna say time is ever running out. The statute of the limitation on murder is, you know what I mean? It can never run out. But I'm looking at everything they're doing right now, fam. And I'm like, man, what's next, man? What is going to be the smoking gun? What's next in the Nolan Wells investigation? There's a lot of things that's not adding up. Could a cover up be going on for show? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit does spell cover up. But how can the NAACP and Big Crump, break down this cover up if it's so many political people involved and judges and maybe even FBI agents? What can the NAACP and Big Crump do to fight this motherfucking massive cover up that's going on in the Nolan Wells case? Y'all smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody.
That real though.
Gang.
That real though.
Let's
That is
find out
real
what's
though.
going on online real quick, man.
That
Let's find
is
out what's
real
going on
though.
online.
Real
There's a lot
talk
of
though.
things being said online.
Hit that like and sub button, gang.
Gotta check in with the internet. And of course, I gotta go holler at my Uncle Willie D, man. Shout out to my Uncle Willie D, man. I need to get Uncle Willie D over on the platform. I need to get Uncle to pull up, man. I'm gonna reach out to Uncle. I'm gonna reach out to Uncle pretty soon here. But they say it's some kind of secret letter that came out. I seen Secret Service saying, well, I'm gonna check in with later on. I seen people talking about a secret letter that came out. That somebody confessed it's another letter that came out. Y'all sent this to me a bunch of times in my inbox. Sco, did you see that letter? Did you see the letter, Sco? A letter came out. Somebody's a witness. Somebody knows exactly what happened. You gotta read the secret letter that came out. So I said, okay, fuck it. I went over it, and y'all tell me, does this letter bring any new light to the case of Nolan Wells? Any new evidence? Do y'all think it's real? Smash that like button. Salute to everybody. Y'all know how we do it, gang. It's Big Sco gang, a no gang, a don't bang. Remember, we don't break the news. We just break the news down. Let's see what's going on with this secret letter that took the internet by storm yesterday.
Into it. Now, at times it's going to be hard for me to articulate exactly what is happening here.
Come on,
said because the letter, the writing is not great, but it's good enough to get an idea.
Is that a male's handwriting or a female's handwriting? How y'all feel about the handwriting, gang? Who wrote this letter? Is that a man handwriting or is that